Hey guys, Sam from Aaron's Outdoor, and today I'm up in Tennessee with John here from Creek Fishing Adventures. And we actually fished yesterday, but I did not catch any fish. Just missed a couple on the Choppo, so that was a little bit frustrating, but we were fishing like a new river, or a new section of river that we had never fished before. Today, we're fishing one that John's fished a ton, and I fished once with him last year, so we're a little bit more confident that we'll actually be catching some more fish. I mean, John did catch some fish yesterday, but hopefully I'll actually be catching some fish today. And I'll probably be throwing the Choppo some, which is one of my favorite lures for river bass fishing in the summer. But if they're not hitting that, I'll probably throw the Hellgrammite, maybe a spinner bait, maybe a crankbait. I don't know, we'll try some different lures, but I think today we'll probably be on some fish. Also, if y'all are new to the channel, I would definitely appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button down below. Also, I forgot to mention this, but the river we're fishing today is like pretty much all spotted bass. There's a ton of them in here, and there's some big ones in here. So one of my goals for today is to catch an 18-incher, which can get you a little angler award for Tennessee. There's one, pretty nice one. Not bad. On the Hellgrammite. Get in here. All right, finally got a fish. Well, after getting nothing yesterday, I'm really happy to get a fish. It's probably like a 15-inch spot. Came about 30 minutes in today, so I think this is going to be a much better float. I think we'll actually be catching some fish, and I caught it on none other than the Nikko Hellgrammite there. Well, there we go, man. I'm happy to catch a fish just because yesterday was kind of rough, but not a bad fish to start off. All right, we got a nice little 15.5-incher to start the day on the good old Nikko Hellgrammite. There he goes. The Hellgrammite. Oh, got another one. Man, I wasn't even paying attention. Oh my gosh, that was the biggest jump. All right, well, I kind of just cast it towards that tree and got another one on the Hellgrammite. I think they're loaded. Like when the water's low on this river and they're not releasing water, I think the fish are just loaded in the deep holes like this. There we go, second fish of the day. Definitely a little bit smaller, maybe like a 12-incher, but I'll take it. I'll let him go, and y'all can really see him swim off in this clear water. Man, I can still see him down there. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? I hook setted, I missed him, and he came back and ate it. He's tiny, but that was crazy. I've caught 3 fish in like less than 10 minutes. I mean, like I was saying, they're loaded in these holes. That one's tiny, but nonetheless, it's another fish. There's one. Oh, off that tree. A bunch of little guys in here. Yeah, another small one. Fat though, man. Healthy little bass. Well, just about every fish has gotten smaller, so if we keep catching a bunch of small ones, I might have to switch to a bigger lure to try to get an 18-incher. Oh my gosh, I just watched this one come up and eat it. That was crazy. I started reeling in the Hellgrammite, and this tiny guy was following it, so I just stopped it, and he nailed it. I wasn't sure if I'd be able to hook him, but I guess he actually ate it, right? Good enough to hook him. We've caught 5 fish in under an hour. This is very different than my day yesterday. Oh, and there's one right under me. I'm gonna let that one go. Got one. Oh my gosh, he's tiny. The amount of tiny fish I'm catching. These little spotted bass are like insanely aggressive. I mean, I'll just like drop the lure in the water and they'll like dart right at it. And just about every fish has gotten smaller, so hopefully we break that trend. There's another tiny one. I'm honestly surprised I'm hooking these little guys. This one's a little bigger than the last one. This is like fish number 7. We're maybe just over an hour in. Like, there's so many fish in these deep holes. Just loaded. Another little guy. I'm probably gonna have to switch to a big lure here soon, but for now I'm just gonna keep catching a bunch of fish. This tree looks good. There's one. Maybe 14 incher. Oh my gosh, smallmouth hybrid. You told me this is where you caught the smallmouth. It's definitely got some smallmouth in it, but it's definitely a hybrid. All right, y'all, just caught this smallmouth spotted bass hybrid. So this river a long time ago was all smallmouth before these spotted bass were introduced here. And this is definitely a funky looking fish. Like you can see he has a lateral line, but he's definitely got a little brown on him from, you know, being a smallmouth. So pretty funky looking hybrid there. Very funky looking bass right there. Right here he looks a little bit more like a spotted bass, but he has definitely got some smallmouth in him. Just really funky looking bass. There he goes. I put my sunglasses over the camera and you can see him real easily. So to me, fishing, this is how easily I can see him. And probably see him even easier than it shows on camera. There's one next to this tree. Not too bad. About 12 incher. Whoa. All right, I just anchored next to this tree because they can be loaded next to big pieces of structure like this. And that's another smaller one. I mean, maybe 10 or 11 inches, probably not a 12 incher, but caught a couple decent fish today, like a 14.5 incher and a 15.5 incher. But this is like fish number 9. I mean, I feel like I could definitely catch a few more sitting next to this big tree like this. So I'll let him go.
This section through here would be perfect for a glide.
You would be able to see like every follower. It'd be cool. There's one off the tree. Another tiny one. Oh my gosh. A rock bass. I hardly have caught any rock bass. John catches a ton of rock bass up where he lives in Tennessee, but there's like pretty much none where I live. So the only ones I've caught have been up here when I'm fishing with John, except for one actually that I caught by me, but that's pretty cool. Even though it's tiny, I never really get to catch these. Anyway, a little guy, but I'll take him. I think that's fish number like 10. So catching a lot, even if they're pretty small. Oh, there's one. I just lost one like twice, and I don't know if this is the same fish or not, but he might have come back for it. It's fish number 11. Wow, and he just shook off right there, so might be kind of lucky to have gotten him in. There's so many spotted bass about this size in here. There's one. Oh, a little better one. Definitely one of the bigger ones I've caught. Oh yeah, not bad. Probably at least 14. Well, maybe 13, but still definitely above average for what we've caught today. Well, I'm drifting all over the place, but that guy was about 13.25, maybe 13.5. So that's our third biggest one of the day. Let him go right here. You can really see him down there. It's cool how easily you can see the fish. He's like hiding under a log. Oh, I just had one hit it. Had a couple hits on this. So weird. There's one on the Choppo. Yep, that was kind of crazy. It's not that big, but yeah. Barely hooked. Barely hooked. Oh, he rehooked himself more. All right, yeah. That might be my biggest of the day though. When you're up against these like rock walls, it's so loud. All right, well there's a decent fish. He's probably around 15, maybe 15.5. Pretty close to the biggest one we caught today, but The water rose a little while ago, so there's definitely some more current flowing through here, and I think that's going to turn the fish on to hit the Choppo, because I got a few hits really fast on it and then caught this, you know, pretty solid fish. Yeah, he was 15 and a quarter, so that's our second biggest one of the day. I'll let him go here. Might take him a second. Oh, there he goes. Another one out of the cave. Let's go. This guy's a little smaller. Still not too bad. All right, well, there's another little bass caught out of this cave. I had to kind of go into the cave a bit to avoid getting hit on the side of the bank or whatever, but this guy was bleeding a lot, so hopefully he'll be okay. There he goes. Oh, Choppo fish. Little guy. Little guy. There we go. I think this is fish number 15 for me. It's at least that many. This current is strong. I'm missing so much water. Every time I catch a fish that looks good, like that trio looks real good. There's one on the spinnerbait. Oh, pretty good one. All right, got a spot on the spinnerbait. I don't have a ton of confidence on a spinnerbait, but I know John uses them a ton, and look, that guy was hooked on a trailer hook only, so it's probably a good thing I have it on there then. All right, well, this guy was 14 inches, so I think that's like the fourth biggest one of the day. I mean, you know, maybe a pound, but definitely a more solid fish there. And I'm gonna have to stick to that spinnerbait, I think. I wanna gain confidence on it, and that's the first one I've caught on that particular one, so I'll let him go. It's so cool watching him swim. Oh, got one. Man, that was weird. I was about to reel in to make another cast. I just started reeling in a little faster, and this guy hit it on the old Choppo. It's a tiny one. I mean, it seems like these little guys will really hit the Choppo. Anyway, that's another tiny guy. Oh, got one. Man, I was just thinking about switching, and then I caught one. Well, I haven't caught him yet. Oh, boat flip him in here. That's might be my best of the day, close to it. Well, I was getting ready to switch back to the spinnerbait, and then this spotted bass hit, and he's got a real bloody tail there, so he's probably on a bed. I mean, I don't really know. I mean, the spotted bass like to bed in deeper water, and this is a real steep rock ledge, so he very well could have been on a bed. He might be the longest of the day. He's probably about 15 and a half. I don't know if y'all can see it, but there's a giant spider right there, so I just kicked off the wall. He was actually only like 14 and a half inches, so he's definitely not as big as I thought, but there he goes. He's finding his way back. Look at him. Oh my gosh. Oh. I broke the Choppo, I didn't even realize. It's cracked. That's the only bad thing about these Choppos. Since they have a hard tail, they can just break like that. All right, well, John and I just got back, and I had an awesome day. I mean, compared to yesterday, it was amazing. You know, yesterday I didn't land a fish, had a couple come off, and then today I think I caught 18 total, including the rock bass. But for me, that's definitely the best day I've had numbers-wise doing a river float. So that was pretty awesome, even though, you know, most of them weren't that big. The biggest one was actually the first one we caught, which is 15 and a half inches. But I had 5 pretty close, within an inch of like 15 inches. So that's not bad, you know, nothing huge, but it's awesome just catching fish after fish like that. Really, you can't complain about that. So that was an awesome day. And if you want to try any of the lures I was using, I'll have them in the description below. But I mainly caught all my fish on a Nikko Hellgrammite and the Choppo, and then I did catch one fish on a spinnerbait. So anyway, hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, Don't forget to hit that like button down below and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. But I'll catch y'all in the next video. Thanks for watching.